a bully? How does he become a bully? What are the same characteristics? Because these guys that are married, that are corporate executives, that were nice, quiet guys, never the leaders, never the heroes, are suddenly sitting in a place where women who need to make a living serve you drinks. And now they can say, do this and do that. What color is your underwear? Show me your underwear. They would never do that publicly, right? The corporate executive, the degree of education, but in the quiet darkness of where they are, this characteristic of saying, you're trying to get my money. I know you don't love me. I know you don't like me. That's been my life's experience, but I'm in a position to make you humiliate yourself at my pleasure. And I am going to do that to you time and again because I'm getting something out of it. Now that is a characteristic of bullying, right? And so we see some kid in a school or in a playground. We see some person in an executive position with money bullying upon another person because they enjoy it, because that gives them something. But what I tell people as a former prosecutor is, these guys that prey on victims, male or female, but let's say female, 50 women will go by, same size, same physical ability, they are waiting for the ones that will be afraid, the one that will whimper, the one that will cry. And the longer they whimper and cry, the greater the pleasure they get. And therefore, they are not picking the most feisty woman, not the one who's going to fight back. What is that? That is the exact same characteristic of bullying, but now they're a criminal, they're a predator, they're a assailant. The characteristic of bullying, to me, encompasses those things. And therefore, it is very important what you're doing. To try to find, particularly in young people, who have got to experience so many things, and especially in very difficult environments, identify that these young people with this great potential do not end up going astray. To bring them back in and to keep those abilities and make them the best person they can be. And to deal with the hurts and deficiencies that they have, to turn them into the better people that they could be. Let me also say something about what I think is related to a characteristic or an aspect of not being bullied. The person who gets bullied is the one who doesn't want to be bullied. The one who doesn't want to be identified and broadcast as an outcast. They don't want anyone to know that, yeah, I'm the loser that's got no friends. I'm the one that everybody picks on and everyone else stands by. Everybody knows that's me, but I don't want anybody else to, I'm not doing, I'm not saying, I'm not doing anything because I don't want to be that person. I'm going to hide from being that person. I'm going to deny that's me, this happened to me, and therefore they are making us. One of the things I think, as we said, it's not just kids, right? It's adults. Adults trying to get a job. Adults trying to make a living. Adults dealing with the community, not getting the respect that they deserve. But you don't want to get identified as an outcast. It's not me. I'm not the powerless one that is being humiliated and disrespected. That's not me. I deny that that's happened to me, and therefore I'm being victimized, in that manner. My father was a pastor, 58th and Hoffman Avenue, that's his church. He passed away. One of the things that I'm asked to speak time to time about different topics. I was just speaking back again. And I raised an odd topic, and it was about leadership. And, there's so many topics about leadership. You talk about people leadership is this, and all kinds of things. That's fine. But what I want to talk about was this: rejection, humiliation, and suffering. Many are called, few are chosen. But if you are going to be the one who steps up to be a leader, do not avoid, do not run from rejection, humiliation, and suffering. That oftentimes makes the person who they are. Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi. If you look at the people who have championed peace, they have all through this leadership been developed. The other thing is this, like every day the door opens, you step out, there might be 3 lines, it's like you're a gladiator. You step out of your front door and there's a problem. There'll be 2 bears and a rhinoceros coming in. You can close the door, you can sneak out the back, you can stay in your house and never step out the front door. But you step out the front door, you slay the lion, you kill the bear, you go about your day, you come back. Why can you do that? Because you are not afraid to deal with life's problems. You don't run away from rejection, humiliation, and suffering. You embrace it. You cannot be bullied. You cannot be bullied because you are comfortable being outcast, being rejected, speaking your mind, standing up, and having everybody else say, that person, male or female, what a loser, what an idiot, please reject me wholeheartedly. You're saying, I don't react to that. I don't react to that. Do not be bullied. In this conversation about if you are going to lead, and what you lead for, whether you have all the ideas or whether you fit in a greater idea that was put down by the highest authority to find your moral service. There is one more thing I have to say, and that is forgiveness. Well, people say, oh my goodness, forgiveness. Yeah, forgiveness is a leadership quality because if you're going to embrace rejection, humiliation, and suffering, guess what? Forgiveness. Because once you have taken those blows and been so negatively impacted, you can be derailed. You can so focus on those who did damage to you. You can so focus on what happened to you. Your personality and your leadership can be detrimentally changed. Yeah, people find that a hard pill to swallow, right? Forgiveness. The person did all that to me and I gotta forgive them. It's probably in your beliefs someplace. It certainly is mine. Forgiveness is a very powerful thing. Not for the other person necessarily, but for you. You set you straight. If I were to counsel my own daughters and son, 2 sons, 2 daughters, okay, I would say exactly this. You may find yourself on the butt end of jokes every day by a group of kids that can do that, not because they're stronger than you or smarter than you, because you are their victim. But embrace this experience. Don't be afraid. Learn to accept these things because they're a primer for what you're going to do later in your life when they become more critical and more important. But also this, learn to forgive. And in that way, you will be able to affect those who are trying to negatively impact you. And you'll be the better for it. I don't know if these are convincing words. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm trying to say that's my personal experience. And someday I may share that personal experience with you. But I have found myself that those who dwell on their hurts and feelings, are far less effective, far less fulfilled, and far less able than those who are able to forgive it, forget it, responsibly perform what they did. Perhaps we share these with the young people, both the bullies and the victims, and from those perspectives, we may be able to address in an environment that is so painful and limited and depressing the opportunity for them to actually rise above their circumstances, those good qualities, and to power through the challenges they face with. positive attitude. Thank you very much.